Hey, enthusiasts, what's happening? This is Salty Language, episode 701.
Still, sexiest podcast on the network.
It's crazy. You think something would knock us off by now, but nope.
Unstoppable
We are the juggernaut.
of sexy podcasts.
Oh, no, I just meant like Kane Marco or whoever the hell the juggernaut is in comics now. They've probably got somebody else as the juggernaut.
It'd be funny if it's just some real, like, real thin dweeby dude.
Yeah.
But he's still just rocking people.
Yeah. Yeah. They look at him and they're like, okay, whatever. And he just boom and hits him like a truck.
Oh, yeah, because he's got the ruby of Cyrus the Virus or something. I don't know.
It's Cypress Hill. Yeah. Like that.
Cypress Hill's ruby. There you go.
Yeah.
That thing is laden with THC. No wonder he thinks he's juggernaut.
Oh, you ain't kidding. I was watching. There's a show on Netflix it's John Mulaney's show called Everybody's Live.
Oh, okay.
And on the first episode, Cypress Hill was the musical guest, and they came out with an orchestra and played hits from the bong.
Fantastic.
And it was great.
I'm sure. Yeah.
It was so, and they were in like suits and looking all dapper. You know, it was great.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Good old Cypress Hill, man.
That show is very weird and awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's John Mulaney. I wouldn't expect anything else.
Right. Well, because it's like he starts the show with, a little monologue or a story. Then he brings out like two guests. And he also has it to where when it's actually live, people can call in. Like they have a topic. So they're like, call in and tell us your, stories on the topic, basically.
Yeah.
And then, like the last one I watched, the first two guests were John Waters and Wanda Sykes.
Okay.
And, and John Waters is, very weird and such, which was great, but it's funny because he had this panel with like, oh God, what's the guy's name? It's Stavros.
Yeah. I know. Stavi Baby. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, Stavi Baby. Yeah. It was him, John Waters, Wanda Sykes, and then the guy who used to be the acting I forgot what it is. Basically, he's the lawyer that tries or pitches cases to the Supreme Court, basically.
Right.
So, the panel, clearly blended together. Like, it was so funny because Stavi at one point was talking about like jerking off, and the lawyer guy was just, you could tell he was regretting life right then.
Stavros talk about jerking off. That's weird.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Well, like, and then him and John Waters were talking about this lesbian bar in Baltimore because they're both from Baltimore.
Oh.
And and then John Mulaney was like, "Do you guys want to go talk about lesbian bars over there? Like we're doing a
Like, no, actually, we don't. We want to talk about them right here, right now.
Right here. Yeah. Wanda Sykes is sitting there going, "What the hell is even going on?" Yeah. There's some real funny stuff in there. Like the first episode, I love he has this telescope.
Oh, it's live on Netflix? Is every episode live?
It is, and then I'm not watching it live.
Right. Well, that's cool. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah. So he walks over to this telescope and he looks through it, and it's looking at an apartment building, and you see a guy just standing there or whatever, and then he goes, "Oh, it's like blah 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 going on and whatever." And next thing you know, you see a guy pick up a lamp and just smash him in the back of the head. And he goes, "Oh my God," and he goes, "Let's look at something else." And they do that same, every window he looks in, someone's getting smashed with a lamp.
I mean, that's fun.
Yeah. It's like the first time you're like, oh shit, the second time you're like, okay, and it's just, to me, it just got funnier because now you're like, it's going to happen every time.
Of course. Yeah.
But his co-host guy is Richard Kind on the show also, and Richard Kind's great, so it's interesting. I've enjoyed it. It's just it's weird and awkward it almost feels like you could probably edit it and make it better, but the fact that it's live, that's things are going to be weird sometimes,
right? Well, naturally,
right?
Yes.
But, yeah, anyway. Apparently it was on before that was called Everybody's in LA or something like that. And then Netflix had him retool it because when they did testing, he tells the story on one of the episodes, like that basically people don't like people from LA. So they didn't really want to watch it.
I mean, that's funny.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, Brian. That's kind of funny.
Yeah.
I know.
Anyway, but yeah.
So how you been, buddy?
Oh yeah, not too bad. Went to the eye doctor the other day. Finally, it's apparently been 5 years. I didn't realize it had been that long.
Getting laser implants finally.
Yeah, finally.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Get some Zeroshis from Cyberpunk.
Yes.
Yes.
Probably not.
No. Okay.
It'll. They probably won't be like real lasers. It'll just be like, red beams.
Yeah.
Although I could, be fun screwing with cats.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And then when people are like, look me in the eye and say that, you just blind them with lasers.
Yep. Mm-hmm. That's the move, right? That's the reason to have them.
Oh, absolutely.
Also, I shoot them at planes, to try to mess with the pilots.
Wow. I mean, who
you gotta
does
have
it?
something to, you got to have something to do, right?
For sure. Anywho.
But it was, everything went great, which was good, of course, because the last time I was there, I was like, I think the last time I was here, it was like pre-COVID. And the assistant that was first with me, she goes, no, she goes, actually, it was in like October of 2020. So she goes, it was actually kind of like peak, and I was like, oh, that's right. I remember having to sit in the car until they called me. Because it was one in, one out, type of thing. I was like, oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, so yeah. But yeah, all the health related stuff with the eyes are great and everything. And I got like just a slight tweak to the my left lens, but I gotta still order the glasses.
Of course.
Because my insurance doesn't cover, how I have like my left lens is like much stronger. My right lens basically has almost no prescription in it.
Yeah. So Brian, why don't you just get a monocle?
Yeah.
What are we doing?
I know. I really should just get a monocle. You're right. 2 monocles just because I'm extra fancy.
Well, yeah, of course.
But,
old callback.
Yeah. But so but my insurance doesn't cover the whatever they call it, the polycarbonate lenses, which are thinner.
Well, yeah.
Otherwise, I'm gonna have a Coke bottle in the left lens, and my glasses are always gonna be like, I'm gonna have to keep adjusting them because they'll keep tilting.
Kicking it old school over there.
Yeah, and I just didn't have the money on me, so I was like, okay, well, I'll have to call and order them. But yeah, so it's like, okay, that's cool. I wanted to get that out of the way.
I mean, depending on how much they're going to cost you, now that you have your prescription, I would check Zenny because you never know.
Yeah, well, it's gonna be like $80, so it's
all right. You'd be all right.
Yeah, my insurance covers most of the things. It just doesn't cover it. That, or if I wanted to get the anti-reflective or whatever, and it's like I've read some stuff recently that like kind of the science on that's kind of torn about like how much benefit you actually get from it.
Right.
So I was like, okay, well, that's because if I want that would be like $100 out of pocket or something like that, and it's like, or 80 or $90 out of pocket, and I was like, nah. I was like, I'll just skip that.
You want all the reflections. Let's get some mirrors on these.
I do. You're right. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Well, that's why I only wear
State Trooper glasses.
Yeah, for sure. That's what I got coming.
Yes. Yes. I'll take the State Trooper style number 3.
Right.
Good choice.
It's got mirrors on mirrors.
Yes.
Like how they used to have the little round mirrors on on cars and stuff.
Yeah. The little button mirror.
Yeah, it's got
so I can see things in my blind spot. All right, Grandma.
It's got that like on in the corners of the glass.
Oh, that'd be sick.
Like, man, what's going on here?
No one can sneak up on me of these.
That's right.
Dude, you remember those Fruity Pebbles glasses?
No.
Dude, you don't remember the cardboard shit ass Fruity Pebbles and Cocoa Pebbles spy glasses?
Yeah,
They had little mirrors on each edge.
Yeah. That's right. Now I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Boy, we were cool.
That was some. Oh man, speaking of cool, got the eyes dilated. So I'm like, hey, do you guys have the cool wraparound
Fuck yeah.
glasses that they used to give you? They don't have those anymore. They have things that slip behind your glasses. And it's like, well, it's a good thing I'm wearing my glasses, because
Well, if not, they still have those things, but a staple gun.
Yeah. Well, I mean, whatever. Shit, it just turned into a hardcore match.
Yeah, right.
EC dub. EC dub.
Oh God, he's putting on his sunglasses. Ka-chunk. Ka-chunk.
Yeah. Oh man. But yeah, so that was fun walking around everywhere with that, for a few hours until my eyes. It was funny. My brother and I, we go into a Dollar General because he was there.
I mean, if those things in, you fit right in.
Right. But, so I'm like, I needed something to drink. So, I grab a pop and I get up in line, and my brother bought something, and he went out to the car, and I'm like, that asshole. I'm like, so, the guy's like, how much ever for the pop. I get my card out, and I'm like, shit, I'm going to have to put a pin in here. I can't read this.
Oh.
And then thank goodness for my typing class years ago, because I also on those keypads, for anyone who doesn't happen to know, they usually have on the 5 there's a little notch on it, much like if you have a keypad on your
that's where they steal
computer.
your DNA.
It's true.
Yes.
But the little notch on if you have a keypad on your computer or whatever, that's so you should, if typing, that's the 5. So where you can go from, and thank goodness I have that muscle memory. So I was like, okay, there's the notch, that's 5. So I was able to, because I was telling the guy working there, I was like, I just got my eyes dilated, I can't read the numbers on the keypad. And he goes, yeah, he's like, I'd offer to do it for you, but that's kind of weird.
Yeah, you right.
Yeah. I mean, I figured it out, but I get out to the car, and I'm like, hey, asshole. I'm like, I might need you to, if I need something red, you kind of got to be my eyes for a little bit.
What a turd.
I know, right?
Yes.
Kids these days. I tell you what. That kid ain't right.
I know,
boy
right?
Ain't right.
Right. Have you been watching
No.
Common Side Effects?
No, I have not yet.
It's so good. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, I need to. I'm going to.
Yeah, it's quite nice.
Every time I'm in Max, I always look at it.
Excuse me.
And, because I'm in there to, like, watch wrestling or so. For a while, I was watching, like, Harley Quinn, but the season's done of that, so.
You should definitely be watching that show.
Okay.
Yes.
I'll have to start it.
Yes, quite. Oh, man. Well, it's Saturday.
That's about it for me. Yeah, it is Saturday.
Yeah.
Tony's ready for bed already.
Dude, it's, you'd think with my work shit over now, finally, things would have settled down, but it haven't really. Still been busy. It sucks. I mean, it's good, but it sucks.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. Although I did Tuesday, well, it was like Monday night, my sister texted me, hey, do you want to get, dinner? Sure. So we
like, no,
no, blocked.
Yes, but not with you.
So we met at Ernest Brewworks over on Cricket Western Central Avenue.
Oh yeah, right.
Right. And they just showed up. I'm like, I'll pick up tacos and we'll meet there. And then so basically they bought drinks. I provided tacos.
Right.
We had a nice little evening of delicious street tacos and craft beers.
Nice.
And plus, it was nice to hang out with, Peanut and the sister.
Right.
Again, that was a good time. Man, why is my watch going bananas? What the fuck?
I did, like last Saturday, me and Jeannie hung out, and I already told you, like, we went and got some Chinese food, and oh man, those drunken noodles I had were so good. But after that, we were like, she goes, well, let's hit up a brewery or something. I'm like, cool, and she goes, well, we're out in Maumee. Sorry for those that aren't local. And she's like, well, let's see what we can find. So we went to, oh shoot, I'm gonna get him confused. There's 2 of them we went to, and they both have a frog as the logo.
Oh, well, there's Black Frog or there's Great Black Swamp.
Okay. I think I can't remember which one it was, but it was the smaller one we went to first.
Black Frog.
Black Frog.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're still in an itty bitty spot. Great Black Swamp's in a nice spot now.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
Okay, so we went to Black Frog first, and I had never been there. And Jeannie was like, I've been out here a couple times. She goes, and they always look like they're closed.
Mm-hmm.
And as we're driving by, we happen to notice, like, because from the street, there's no signage that says open or anything like that. When you get just past the building, I'm like, oh, the open sign is on. So, it's all of a sudden like, to try to get into the lot. And so we go in, and there's like 5 people in there, and like you said, it's really small. Like, I couldn't get over how tiny it is.
Oh yeah.
And but whatever, we sat down. She got a flight. I got beer that wasn't in her flight. We tasted all the things around and whatever, and the beer was fine. It didn't blow me away, but it was fine.
Yes.
But we had like a conversation like the whole time with this like older couple. We were just talking about all sorts of shit. Like, they were talking about, how they went to Alaska, and they were telling, the guy was talking about the glacier climb that he went on and all this kind of stuff. And his wife was just like, yeah, me and my sister just were like, yeah, we're not going up there. And they just sat like on the lower area, and and she goes, and we were just like, well, we hope they come back.
What, the glaciers?
No, the people.
Oh,
their husbands were climbing the glacier or doing this glacier walk.
So, I gotcha.
Yeah, but it was crazy because we're just talking about different breweries and all this kind of stuff because the guy was, and I'm like, the guy's like, yeah, we're here like every week, and I was like, oh, you locals? And he goes, no, we actually live in like Berkey.
Jesus.
And I'm just like, wow. Sorry again for those who weren't local, but Berkey to this place is not.
It's not close. Yeah, it's not close.
And I'm in my head, I'm going, there's not another brewery. And it's like, well, whatever. They like the guy who runs it. They like to support him. Nothing wrong with that, and whatever. It's something for him to do. Who cares, right? But yeah, they were a really nice couple. But it was crazy though, because people we weren't even talking to when they left, like the one dude like clapped me on the shoulder and was like, hey, have a great night. It was like, all right. like I don't know you, but cool. Okay.
Yeah, that's weird, huh?
Yeah, all the customers, everybody was super nice, and but man, I couldn't get over how just tiny it was. I mean, that whole place is probably smaller than the place I live.
Yeah, for sure, right?
Yeah, but like I said, there was nothing that blew me away, but I also wasn't offended by any of the beers, so that's it's whatever.
That's a win.
Yeah, but the conversation was great. So we were like, oh, it's kind of happy we stopped there, and then they closed at like 10 though. So, and Jeannie was like, well, do you want to go somewhere else? And I was like, sure. And so that's when we went to what'd you say the other one was? Great
Black Swamp.
Great Black Swamp, thank you. And we went in there, and when we got there was some dude playing music, and I was like, oh boy, but oddly enough, he wasn't all that loud. They actually had the music at a decent volume. Like you could hear him well, but it wasn't like, oh my God, this is ridiculous, but there were like 2 long tables right behind the bar, and there was some party going on there, and holy shit, were they loud. And but after a little bit they cleared out, but it was crazy. They only had like one bartender, and that place was busy, And the only thing I can think of, because various people from that party kept going behind the bar, I was like, oh, I bet all the employees are over here. Like, but yeah, it was fun. It was a good time there.
Nice.
I don't remember what I got there, but
yeah, their beer's pretty good.
I hadn't drank much in a while, and on the night I probably had 5 or so beers, and by the time we left there, I was like, "Ooh, I'm feeling this a little bit." Also, I mean, in fairness, your boy generally the ones I want to drink are going to be the 9%ers,
Right.
What I couldn't get over in that place though was how many Busch Lights, White Claws, Bud Light, or not Bud Light. There was another shit beer they were selling.
Yeah, that
And
place
it was like,
has since they've been open, because they used to be over in Perrysburg in a strip mall.
okay.
Has always served domestics too. I thought it was wild.
What's crazy is I think they basically charge craft prices for the domestics.
I would.
So I was like, good for them. You know, if you're not going to buy our beer, then fuck you.
Yeah, here's a piss beer upcharge, you trash.
Yeah.
You trash man.
Yep. But that was like this random woman walks up and standing next to Jeannie, and she orders like a grape White Claw. And Jeannie was like, how is that? And the woman's like, it kind of reminds me of like Faygo grape. And I was like, okay, if that's the case, man, that'd be dangerous. I could see smashing like a 1,000 of those.
Right.
But and Jeannie was like, I'm just not big on seltzers. And the woman's like, oh, you should try one, and all this. And it was funny. She had just got there, but you could tell she'd already been probably a few White Claws in.
Oh yeah, she's at home getting wine drunk, probably.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But yeah. But at one point they got so busy that the bartender wasn't, she wasn't able to keep up with everybody. Like I'm down to like my last drink of beer. Guy walks up to the bar next to me, and he stood there for a little while, and she came over, and I was like, get this guy's order. And then I regretted it immediately, because we were laughing about different stuff, getting along fine until he placed his order, and it was all White Claws and Busch Lights. And I was like, oh, I should have got my beer first.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Like I won't make this mistake again.
Never
you can
again.
Go thirsty.
Yeah, you should have known better. You should have known better, Brian. You should have known better.
Yeah, I should have.
Yes.
That'll teach me to be nice.
Exactly, right? Oh, God, excuse me. Also, Logan turned 23. How weird is that?
Yeah, I know, right?
That's fucking insane.
Yeah.
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 I mean, we're going to do smash burgers, but the weather has been shitty every weekend here.
Yeah.
Apparently it's monsoon season. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, it's like the nicest day of the week was the day I had to go up to Monroe to, for my eyeglass exam, and my brother and I were gone all day. I was like, man, this would be a perfect day to dust off the Blackstone.
Right. That's what I'm waiting for,
burgers. Too. Yeah.
So we ended up meeting for breakfast, right?
Nice.
At Uncle John's Pancake House in their new location.
Oh, I didn't know they were open. Okay.
Yes. It's weird.
I bet.
Because, you walk into okay, for all you into not in the know, Uncle John's is a local breakfast spot that it's like tchotchkes from Office Space.
Yeah.
Like really. Everything in there, there's shit everywhere. Shit hanging off the ceilings, the walls, everywhere.
Yeah. And that place had been there forever.
Forever. It's been in Toledo forever.
Right.
So they moved because the car wash next door needed to make a bigger car wash.
Right.
And so they bought out their land, and they moved up the road. And now they're in a strip mall. It used to be a nice, fancy restaurant, Gradkowski's, Bruce Gradkowski's restaurant.
Yeah, right. Yep.
And obviously it folded because no one cares.
Yeah. Right.
Dude, it's weird, though, because you walk in, and Uncle John's is fuzzy, let's say. And this is all like crisp and clean. They still have stuff on the walls. Yeah. But it's like organized.
Oh, I don't like
and
that.
there's still stuff like the rowboat, or the canoe and all that shit's still in there, but it's like it's got a fresh coat of paint on it, and it's weird. The food was delicious. They still do all you can eat pancakes on Wednesdays, only from like 7 to 3.
Yeah,
but
I assume you mean 7 a.m. to 3 a.m.
Well, that's what they should do if they're smart. Yeah. I mean, the food was great, but it was just kind of like, it doesn't have the same vibe as Uncle John's had.
It reminds me of that episode of The Simpsons where Moe is changing his restaurant to Uncle Moe's to be a family-friendly place.
Right.
And Moe says something about he talks about how dank it is and how, getting rid of the dank. And I think Lenny is like, but he's like, but Moe, the dank. The dank. And it's like, yep. That must be weird.
Oh, yeah.
Very much that place, when you walked in, you very much were like, wow, this is whatever. But it also feels like it was from like forever ago.
Oh, yeah.
Like
even the furniture, like, this has been here since this place was built.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I mean, it's good food still.
I mean, that's
the
really
vibe,
what's important.
the vibe isn't there though. It doesn't have that
Right.
cool energy that Uncle John's used to have.
Right.
No, but whatever.
Yeah. What are you gonna do?
Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been weird though, because you know the kids are working now and adults and all that.
Yeah.
So we couldn't get together this week for dinner. Leah came over and ate with us Wednesday night. Logan's coming over tomorrow night to eat with us.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, it's just like, man, I knew this day was coming, but
Yeah.
man, yeah. Is this what my mom felt like when I moved out and just called her once a month, maybe?
Yeah. No, she was just super relieved. No. Finally.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird when you don't talk to your kids every day like you used to. It's very strange.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Imagine. Well, yeah, because got lives of their own and such.
I know.
Guess.
Fucking crazy, bro.
I guess. Yeah. Yeah. My brother's third kid just got his driver's license the other day.
Yeah.
And his second kid is practicing with my brother.
Karate.
Not her, yes. No, not her dad, but Daryl. She's practicing driving with him, so she before long will probably have hers too. So, just be that last one, and I was like, oh man, that's wild,
Bizarro world.
Yeah, like, hearing about Logan being 23 and stuff, because, again, obviously I have memories along the way of him and such, because again, it's like I remember him being like super little playing Mario Kart with me at the shop, 20 years ago.
I know,
or whatever.
It's insane, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's wild.
Time, what a fickle bitch.
That's your new book?
Yes, yeah, my autobiography.
Yeah. Has nothing to do with time or
not at all.
Along those lines. Yeah.
Not at all. I've been loving on Monster Hunter still. That game rules.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm having so much fun playing that game.
That's cool.
Because it's just epic fighting and collecting of monster parts to make sweet pants, basically.
I'm sure that's exactly how the the pitch went for it originally.
I mean, it's basically it.
That's really funny. Oh man,
yeah.
I finally started the Diablo expansion because I picked that up because I had I think I talked about it on here. Like I had a Microsoft gift card and it was like half off or something like that. So I got it for another like $10 off of that.
Nice.
So because I think it was like $30. They had like 15 or something like that, or maybe it was 17, somewhere in that range. I paid like $7 or $5 for it, something like that. So or 10, I don't know. Anyway, but I don't remember. But
it
anywho,
was something.
math is a fickle bitch.
Math is a fickle bitch.
But yeah, I jumped in and played that, and it's interesting because it also introduces you to new things. Like you can there's like mercenaries that you recruit.
Oh, really?
And then you can go to like their base and basically be like, hey, I want you to join me. So you can actually like recruit them to come fight with you.
Oh, interesting.
And I was like, I kind of like that because if, especially as you dial up the difficulty, I could see where that could be useful. Especially if you don't want to play with randos or you don't have people to party up with.
Well, that's actually the thing I've started doing in Monster Hunter, right? Is because you can play by yourself.
Right.
And like Michelle and I figured out how to play it. It's not easy. But you can shoot up an SOS flare.
Yeah.
And when you do, AI hunters come in and help you.
Oh.
And then they get replaced by people if people want to join you. But with Monster Hunter, you don't actually communicate. There's no talk. There's no chat.
Oh.
There's like preloaded chat that you can customize, but
So the only way you could chat would be if you partied,
if you like
started a party.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
But so it's like, why it hit me one day. I'm like, why am I fighting this thing that's going to take me 45 minutes to kill?
Right.
When I can just try this out. And at first I was like, I'll just bring in real people. Who cares?
Yeah.
Right. And then when I saw AI people come in, so I was like, oh, no matter what, you get help, which is cool.
Right. That is cool. Yeah. Actually, I really like that.
And
that
then
was my thing
what
with
I've been
Diablo.
doing is when I'm trying to make a cool pair of pants and I need certain parts, you can search SOS flares for certain monsters.
Oh.
So I just jump into people already fighting the thing and get like a 5-minute kill and reap the rewards.
Okay. I like that.
Rinse, repeat, cool pants. I made Moon Knight. I should take a screen cap and show you.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen Moon Knight. I saw your Craven. That was nice. I like that.
And I want to make Animal from Legion of Doom.
Oh,
because I think I can. I think I can.
Nice.
With the different face paints and stuff.
That'd be awesome. Love that idea.
Anywho, sorry, what were we saying?
That's amazing. No, I was gonna say, like, in Diablo, it's some of the modes and stuff or things that go on inside the game.
Right.
Like I forgot what they call it. Were they called like blood waves or something like that? And it's like I think you like get kind of swarmed. So, but you can look on the map and see where that is at the time. So it's like you could go recruit a couple of these things, or at least one. I don't know if you can recruit more than one, but you can recruit one of those and then go whatever. Now I'm curious because in the last one, whenever someone joined your party, you could equip them. Like, so you could like, go to your stash and just be like, oh, here's all the shit that my class can't use, but this dude's class is going to benefit from it, basically.
Okay.
Right. So you throw it on them and then they get more powerful.
Yeah.
So,
they can help you better.
As you up the difficulty, it helps you. So I haven't messed around with that, but I'm like, okay, I kind of like that because there's elements of the game. Remember, I was like, I don't know if I'll keep playing after I beat it. And it's like, okay, there's other shit I can do here that might give me more stuff to do.
Yeah.
So
what do they call it? Replayability.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, I kind of like this. This might give me a little more life to the game because I could go back through and create a new class and blah 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 and and I might. There's a couple of classes I kind of want to play. And like the expansion, there's a new class in it. And I've read that apparently people have looked at the code and it looks like there's at least one more class
now
that they haven't spoiled yet.
I know there's vicious internet rumors of you not playing games that you buy.
Yes.
Yeah.
I deny all of that.
I definitely need to recommend to you, and you're welcome, everybody. You need to play that RoboCop game that's free right now.
Oh, I didn't realize I could download it yet. Okay.
Yes, and I'm saying you're welcome because I bought it like 2 weeks ago for like heavily discounted.
Sure,
I've been watching this game since it came out, waiting for it to get cheap.
Yep.
And I got it for like $17, then it was free.
Right. I was gonna say it's one of the best ways to get a game for free is to just have bought it.
Yes. So you definitely need to check it out, though. It's great.
Okay.
It's a little wonky, but it's also great.
I was waiting for it to, because it's the 5th now. I was waiting for them to be available. Because when I saw they announced that, and I was like, ooh, because I remember you talking about it a while ago. So
I'm gonna make a cocktail, Brian. It's Saturday night.
All right.
A little.
I've heard it's all right for fighting.
Got a little Buffalo Trace action.
Nice.
Got my Yeti, right?
Okay. Yep.
A little.
It's weird to pour
little splash.
Whiskey, little weird to pour whiskey into an animal you captured in the wild.
That's fine. It's fine.
All right.
He was just he was harassing a dentist. Dude deserved it. And then Brian, because I don't think I've tried this. Oh, look at a little rock and rye.
Oh, rock and rye with.
Yeah.
Nice. All right.
Right. I don't have any rye whiskey. I thought I did because I was gonna do rock and rye.
Yeah. Right.
But that would have been cool. But whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. A Food Town right now has Faygo 8-packs, 3 for $10.
Right.
What am I gonna do? Not pick up rock and rye, cola, and Dr. Faygo?
Oh, I thought you just got like 19 or 18 rock and rye.
No.
That's the right move.
Smells amazing.
Well, how could it not? It's whiskey and rock and rye.
That's all right.
All right.
All right. Sold. Cocktail for the week.
I like
Rock
it.
and rye ice and some bourbon of your choice.
Yeah.
Preferably rye for the rock and rye and rye.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. You said rock and rye ice, and I was just thinking of, like Bud Ice. And all that. I was
rock and rye
like,
ice.
I was like, oh, God, just watered down rock and rye. I mean, it'd still be all right, I guess.
It would be all right. Yeah, dude. It's Saturday night. Let's get nutty, all right? Well, not nutty, but nuttier than I would on a school night.
No, too late.
I mean, I know I have to get up and go to church tomorrow and say hello to Jesus.
It's true. It's true. You do. Yeah.
You know, what are you going to do?
Yeah. So I've been watching first 2 episodes of Dark Side of the Ring because new season.
Oh, I have a wrestling news story, but keep going.
Okay.
Yeah.
The first episode was on the Hell in the Cell with Mick Foley and The Undertaker, where Mick Foley basically died and came back to life. But
that all rubs out. It's fine.
And I understand them using that, but really it sucked because the commentary from The Undertaker that they had was like via phone.
What?
Yeah, well, WWE doesn't usually let its talent like participate in the Dark Side of the Ring stuff.
Oh,
so
because they're like, wow, this might actually hurt our brand.
Yeah, well, a lot of the stories are from WWE, but they had Foley was on there. But the only things that were really new to me, because that match has been covered to death, in podcasts and all that. And WWE's done they did a thing where Undertaker and Mick Foley watched it together and did commentary. But this time, with Dark Side of the Ring,
did they MST3K their little profiles?
No, they should have.
That would have been great. Amazing.
Because watching it, there's actually a part where Mick Foley's like, "Yeah, I don't remember this." I was like, "Oh God," because literally, when he, when Undertaker chokeslams him through the cage.
Yeah, that was a whoops-a-daisy.
It was actually. That was something I didn't know. They assumed that the cage was not going to just give right away. They thought it would kind of slowly give, and he would kind of roll down into the ring.
He rolled all right.
Oh, God, yeah. But when Taker chokeslammed him, he went just straight through and right to the thing. And really, they should have stopped the match right there. I mean, honestly, after
you motherfuckers, you keep going.
Yeah, but
yeah,
because he literally, you can tell watching. It's like he's badly concussed. And then they show his family, like his wife, because she knew about the table spot, where Taker threw him off the top through the, down and through the table.
Yeah.
She knew about that. She knew about, but he told her they were going to do a thing on top, but he didn't tell her that he was going to get chokeslammed through it, basically. And she was just at home and she's just livid because, basically you motherfucker.
That son of a bitch. He lied to me.
Like, you've got children,
Once he gets out of ICU, I'm putting him back in.
Right. Oh, dude, it was, and then, they had his, a couple of his kids on there talking about, and his daughter, Noelle, she was actually training to be a wrestler, and at one point she got a concussion, and this is years ago, and she's still suffering from the concussion. So she was talking about how she couldn't believe now, she goes, how the hell did they not stop that kind of a thing,
We're making millions. Keep going.
Right. Well, then they pointed out
chokeslam his corpse. I don't care, Undertaker.
That wasn't even
That's
the worst thing.
Vince McMahon, by the way.
Right.
Yeah, of course.
That wasn't even the worst thing that Foley. Do you remember that I Quit match with him and The Rock, where Rock hit him in the head with the chair for 17 times?
Yeah, but there's nothing up there but delicious chocolate pudding.
That's all up there now for sure. Apparently, they agreed on less shots to the head, and Rock, but he told Rock really lay it in and go for it, and Rock definitely basically almost killed him. So I was like, Jesus, it's just I knew about that stuff too. It's I knew about a lot of it. The second episode was about Ludwig Borga. I don't know if you remember him or not.
I do not.
He had a cup of coffee in WWE basically, but he had the tools But then they found out, like they have Jim Ross on there, and he goes, "Yeah." Then we find out he has an SS tattoo on his leg.
Oh, Jesus!
I was like, "Oh my!" And they talk about that a little bit, and his ex-wife, like his first wife, was like, "Yeah, he came home from Europe, and he had all this this pottery," and she goes, "This one pot had a swastika on the bottom," and she goes, "I didn't know it was Nazi stuff though." She goes, "I was young and dumb," and I'm like, "Oh, bullshit. There's not one school basically on this planet that doesn't teach you what a swastika is." Like
every school now.
Well, yeah, but you know what I mean? It's like, come on, you knew what the fuck a swastika was.
Right.
Like, you just ignored it. Like, let's call a spade here, lady.
Dude, I'm so sad. I just spent 20 seconds scrolling because I thought I had a cup of coffee in the big time.
Oh.
But I don't. I just have.
Yeah. Oh, he definitely was.
And
not
then, of
the cream
course.
the crop. Yeah. Whoa. But he was a big dude. And that was back in the 80s, early 90s, to where, all you had to do to be a heel was be foreign.
Yes.
See.
So, oh shit, I'm a heel now.
Yeah. Oh shit, El Tigre just turned heel.
oh, where's it at? Tigre. I should make El Tigre in fucking Monster Hunter.
Yeah, you should.
There's got to be armor stripes on it.
Yeah. But I found out after watching, and basically this dude just turned into a giant piece of shit. And
whoa, that became his character.
Yeah,
giant piece of shit.
That's who he was.
Oh, yeah.
Basically, it sounds like he very much was like, oh, this will get me attention, so he did it. And basically, he ran a campaign to get in, their parliament or whatever. As basically, he ran Trump's campaign.
Wow.
I mean, it was the same kind of campaign. It was anti-foreigner. It was,
Is this recent? This guy?
No,
oh, okay.
No, I mean, not really. This is like the 90s.
Oh, all right.
So it was like, oh, wow, okay. But yeah, the funniest part in the whole thing to me was at the very end, they have Jim Ross on there, and Jim Ross is just like, he was a piece of shit. And that was almost what they went out on, basically.
That's hilarious.
He didn't say that. It was something similar, though. But he was basically
everyone knew what he was saying.
Yeah.
Trash. Straight trash.
But what I also found out, which I didn't know, is there's a variety of dark side shows on Vice. Like, there's dark side of comedy, there's dark side of the cage, which I was like, I was like, oh, this is about
UFC,
MMA.
maybe? Okay,
yep.
Yeah.
The first episode is Kimbo Slice.
Do they have dark side of the tiny car about clowns?
No, but they should.
No.
That's a sad situation.
Dark side of the bakery embedded in a tree about keyboard elves.
Yeah. Tragedy. Yeah.
Tragedy.
Yeah,
so how many children's fingers have been lost in the fudge stripe factory?
Oh, too many.
Too many.
Yeah, that's. I mean, listen, when they talk about finger cookies or whatever, that's
lady fingers.
Lady fingers. That's they're not kidding around.
Yeah, finger cookies. That's my stage name.
And Cookies is your beautiful assistant.
Damn right.
This show took a weird turn. Did it?
Oh, shit.
But yeah, so I watched the Kimbo Slice one last night. And, the stuff with Kimbo Slice was all, I mean, everything about him basically happened on the internet. But it was interesting, going through seeing, they talked about, the other side of him, in that he was, he became a dad in high school. And all, his one son was on there, and he was like, he was a great dad and all this stuff. And they showed that he was a super loving, caring dude. I
mean, I saw not fighting Kimbo Slice on stuff, and I was just, he always did seem like a solid guy.
Yeah, and just charisma, and it's if he had started younger and his career fizzled, he easily could have probably gone and been a wrestler.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But given that, his career started, I think he was 33 when he started actually, not backyard brawling, but, just
trying to
fighting.
become a dude, a real dude.
And I didn't know Boss Rutan and his partner were the ones that trained him.
Oh, I didn't know that.
To get him ready for like, real fights cage fights, because, you got to have some sort of ground defense. You've got,
yeah, for sure.
You got to learn some actual boxing and such. But
go back to UFC 1 and watch jiu-jitsu guys tear everybody apart.
Oh, dude, seriously.
Who didn't know it by jiu-jitsu guys. I mean, watch Hoist Gracie.
Yeah, right. Just destroy
tear
people.
Everybody apart. I think it was Hoist. Wasn't it Hoist?
Oh, dude, there's a whole family of Gracies.
I know. They come out of woodwork like ninjas. It's like the Leaf Village in Naruto.
Yeah. Yeah. They used to have, I don't know if they still do, they used to have a YouTube series where they would recap like the most recent like UFC thing. Like they would show like not for knockouts, but like if somebody got submitted, they would be like, here's how he got trapped and here's how he could have defended differently. And I'm like, oh, this is actually kind of cool, like, and it's like the, I don't know where in the bloodline of them it is, because there's like 9,000 of them,
I hope there's one Gracie that's like, I'm not interested in jujitsu. I just like hamburgers. And then he opens up a food truck called Greasy Gracie's.
Oh, yeah. I like that. The Gracie Spoon.
Oh, that's even better. The Gracie Spoon is way better.
Oh shit, that would be great. And he's also like 400 pounds.
Yeah, exactly. He's enormous, just
because none of them are.
Yeah, they're all svelte and eat fish.
Yeah,
he's never even seen a fish in real life.
Right, he's the equivalent of like Hermie. It's like, I want to be a dentist.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you'll do jujitsu and you'll like it.
I thought I meant my asshole cat.
Oh, sorry.
Other Hermie.
Other Hermie.
Yeah, I got you.
The less popular one.
Yes, way less popular one.
Right.
Yeah.
But it was, I forgot, that he died from like he needed a heart transplant. I forgot that he had an enlarged heart.
I almost just said broken heart when you paused after he died.
Literally, he did. Yeah.
I would have felt so bad if I would have nailed it.
That's why they show his last fight, and it was him against another heavyweight, obviously. And they just, how like a lot of the heavyweight fights are, where they like after 30 seconds.
Yeah, they're they're just out there huffing and puffing at each other.
Yeah, and then like Boss Rutan was like, for him to be able to do what he did with his high blood pressure and an enlarged heart, he's like, that shows a lot about the guy, that he was just, he was driven to take care of his family is what it was.
Right.
He always just was trying to find money so that, he could, because he had 5 kids, you got to take care of your kids.
Got to take care of your kids.
So, and he did, he made a lot of money, I'm sure. Not at first. I mean, I think on those was it Reality Kings fights or whatever, which is where I first heard of him, when I saw him on YouTube. And it's like, I think he was making like a few $100 a fight, until then obviously as they got bigger, because his like one of his childhood friends or whatever owned Reality Kings, and that's how that came to be. He heard that like Kimbo was like basically a bouncer and he was living out of his car. And the guy was like, hey, I run like a variety of porn sites, and he hired him as a driver and bodyguard, basically. So, oh my God.
I know. The beast.
Oh my God.
The beast. It does. Oh, internet's doing internet stuff. Brian froze.
Oh boy, here we go.
I'm all by myself. I'm in the void. Oh, I hear Brian's voice.
No, yeah, I'm here.
Thank God.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just trying real hard to break
Saturday
up.
Night's
awesome.
all right. Hello.
Oh my God.
I should peer into the orb.
Wow, that just was all robot. But yeah, I'll tell you what, Saturday Night's all right for fighting, but it ain't all right for Skyping, apparently.
Hey, well, Skype sucks. It's going away soon. We got to figure out our Discord thing.
That's true.
We should we should have done a test record because it's Saturday, but oh well.
Yeah.
We did fucked up, Brian.
Yeah. I'll tell you, one of the episodes of that Dark Side that I can't wait to watch is there's one on Nick Diaz. And I'm like, oh, I bet that's going to be interesting.
Absolutely. That dude's a maniac.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, Rock and Rye and Not Rye was good.
Yeah, Rockin' Not Rye. Wait, Rockin' Rye, Not Rye.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, that's a fine ass. That's a fine ass cocktail. Should be wearing sweatpants say "juicy" across it.
I agree. Yeah. Oh my God, dude. That actually reminds me, a couple weeks ago, I forgot to tell this. I was at Kroger
Yeah.
and I'm, putting my cart away outside.
Like
And
a
there's just
gentleman.
two younger ladies, and one of them is, and I'm not trying to be disparaging, but she was very large, and she had like the full juicy accoutrement, like the pants. She had a jacket that said juicy on the back. Like she had the
I'm
whole
sure she did.
And then I see this other one with her who had massive titties and definitely no bra because I could see areola through her white shirt.
God damn. What the
like,
hell's going on here?
I was like, whoa, what? Because she walked like right in front of me, and I was just, I was like, what the hell, But then when she turned around, same thing. So it was like Juicy Crew.
Oh my God.
By the way, that's what J. Crew stood for, if anyone didn't know.
Oh, the Juicy
Crew. Yeah. But I was just like, oh my gosh, Now, whatever, I don't give a shit. Like I've always said, I would kill for the confidence of some people that I see that are way bigger than me, and they walk around like they're the hottest shit on the planet. I love that, right? Like, get it. But I was just like, wow, that's a lot of like juicy gear y'all got going here. Like, maybe one of you should have wore like the, hot or some, some
Like,
gear that says something else.
What is this, a Welch's factory? What's going on over here?
What would be funny is if one of them said juicy and the other one said juicier or juiciest.
Yes, exactly.
I was like, oh shit, we got, there's like their jackets are cat fighting,
Or if it was like, one said juicy and the other just said, I'm with fatty.
oh, come on now. Wow. Or if the other one
with an arrow.
What would be great is if one just said like arid or dry.
Yeah, exactly. So dry.
like, oh my.
Like, Jesus Christ. Man.
Well, together you guys are all right, I guess.
Yeah, you balance each other out. It's yin and yang.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't know. It's actually like a pair of demons or something on Earth.
Yeah. I mean, she had a pair of demons on her chest.
Yeah.
But...
Hey-o.
Yeah.
I don't know where it is. God damn it.
All right. El Tigre.
Yeah, I know what I was looking for, but it's gone.
I was waiting for you to hit the wrong button.
Yeah, it happens, Brian.
Yeah.
I hit the wrong button all the time, but this thing.
Fucking thing sucks.
Yep.
That's fair.
That's the problem with the soundboard. I can't shrink the buttons down, so I can only have a couple on screen at a time.
Oh, that's no good.
No, it's I need a third monitor.
Obviously.
Just for the soundboard.
I told you last time you need one that's the size of your wall.
I legitimately think this website has an app.
Mm.
And if so, I might be able to put it on my bonus phone that I use with my Bluetooth speaker outside and have like a little soundboard here I could just maybe use.
That might be more.
I might have to monkey with that. We'll see what happens.
All right.
Speaking of monkeying with things.
Oh my God! I thought you were gonna say speaking of monkeys. I got all excited.
Not yet.
All right.
So, as people may or may not know, if you've been a long time listener, we like to just come up with fucking podcast ideas.
Yes, this is accurate.
And for the low cost of $3 a month at patreon.com/saltylanguage. Because I'm going to figure this out, Brian.
Okay.
I'm very close. My Mother to Podcast will be on Patreon. God damn it.
We have the technology.
We have the technology.
Yep.
My Mother Show, a Van Dyke vehicle. I don't remember which one. Jerry or Terry, I don't know.
Oh, God. I just love the Van Dyke vehicle.
Yes. Yeah.
It just reminds me of like a Spike Lee joint.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
right. Yeah.
Vehicle.
It's kind of what I was thinking when I said it.
Also, was pun intended on that? Because my mother the car, and you said a Van Dyke vehicle.
Kinda.
All right.
It's very layers, Brian.
I wanted to respect your pun game. If possible.
My comedy is like a croissant. There's layers.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
All right. I thought you meant flaky and buttery, but all right.
Just flaky.
You're not wrong. Yeah. It's generally not very buttery.
Yeah, no
it's
butter.
Dry, like
no buttery beats.
Yeah.
What if one said juicy, one said buttery?
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. Buttery sounds better to me than juicy.
It really does. Like, here, dude. You should just put
especially on your ass. I don't know that I want a juicy ass. You know what I mean,
bro?
Like,
Here's what I need you to do for me. I don't know if it's possible on our t-shirt website.
I'm not going to see her again.
No. You should just put up a pair of pants that just say with the Cooper Sans font or whatever, Cooper Black.
Right.
Just Buttery across the ass, and then like SL Pod underneath it in small font or something.
All right, I'm writing it down.
Just put it on there.
I'll take a look.
Yeah, if it's possible.
All right.
Okay. What were we talking about? Oh, so my mother to car.
Yeah.
It's about a dude whose wife dies, and then she gets reincarnated in some oldie car and communicates through the radio. The episodes are available. The technology is almost here for us to do it on YouTube. And because it's not on YouTube, I'm sorry, on video.
Right.
And because it's on Patreon, YouTube can't crack down on us. So if you want to see us make fun of My Mother to Car, Mystery Science Theater 3000 style.
Now, listen, I think you're assuming that we won't be engrossed by the amazing plot.
I honestly, I like this hit me today when I was like, what are we going to do for Patreon? And I don't know why, it just all flooded in my brain. It was like divine intervention or some shit.
Right.
Because we still have to do our Quantum Leap podcast.
Oh, yeah, we do.
And that could be a Patreon joint too.
Okay.
You know, and then people could actually watch along with us.
Right.
How fun is this?
Patreon.com/saltylanguage.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, it's coming.
All right.
Tomorrow I'm going to fuck around with my audio and see if I can figure this out.
Okay. Fair enough. Well, let's take it down for a minute.
Oh, man.
I feel like we got to talk about Val Kilmer passing away.
Dude, and Bob Dylan, same day.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I saw that on Reddit that same day that Bob Dylan died.
I didn't see that Bob Dylan died. What?
Yeah, son.
You sure about that?
I mean, it was on Reddit, so...
Yeah.
Who knows, I guess?
Wasn't April Fool's, was it?
Oh, you know what? I don't know.
Here we go. It actually says Bob Dylan's alive and well, despite a false report by MSNBC.
Oh, you cunts.
Okay. I was like, what? I was like, I feel like...
MSNBC puts the C in the C word.
Yeah.
Fucking bastards. Yeah, dude. All right. I'm going to shit on Kroger's right now, aggressively.
Oh, wow. It's weird, too, because he's actually in a Kroger right now.
Yeah, I am. Live streaming from Kroger.
Of course, as you do.
As I do.
They have great
yeah, the free Wi-Fi at Kroger, top notch.
Amazing, yeah.
So, Aldi, has the Girl Scout cookie clone peanut butter chocolate cookies.
Truth.
Delicious.
Which, by the way, I think I read the other day that the Girl Scouts are doing away with those.
Well, whatever, you dumb bitches.
Yeah, who cares? I'm going to keep buying my Aldi ones. Yeah.
So I was at Kroger because, Friday after work, it was the go out for lunch after work with the boys week.
Oh, right, yeah.
And then on the way home, Michelle's like, can you grab me a drink and a snack? Sure, no problem.
Like, I am a snack.
Yeah, exactly. Here I come.
Yeah. Just walk in with a bottle of water.
Yeah. So I, picked up random other things at Kroger, and I'm just walking up to cookie aisle. I'm like, you know what? I'm sure they have chocolate peanut butter cookies here.
I believe you mean the fudge enrobed.
Yes, the fudge enrobed peanut butter cookies, which I've talked about on the show before, and I kind of forgot about. And I was like, oh, yeah, these things. I'm like, I remember these being like a clone of the Girl Scout cookie ones.
Yeah.
They are
peanut butter, but yeah.
They are trash compared to the Aldi ones.
Yeah, they are.
Straight trash.
Yeah.
And they're more expensive. Fuck you, Kroger's.
I actually almost bought some yesterday because I went to Kroger, but didn't go to. I wasn't going to Aldi, so I was like, well, I could. And then I
need some fudge and rolled cookies, obviously.
Sure, yeah. But then I decided not to. It looks like I dodged a bullet, I guess.
Yeah, they are. No.
You know what it is?
They're not bad.
Yeah, they're fine, but
like they're not. No.
The Aldi ones have way more peanut butter.
The Aldi ones are so good.
They're superior for sure. Also, they're smaller, so I think it's that more concentrated bite.
Yeah, it's not some big dumb square. It looks like a coaster of disappointment.
Also, the name of Tony's autobiography.
Yes, that's the sequel. I'm sorry,
a big dumb
squeakle.
Right. A big dumb square of disappointment. A Tony High story.
Yes.
One of like 75 autobiographies.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, my autobiographies are like the Wheel of Time series.
Dude, how great would that be for a gimmick to just keep writing
autobiographies?
Like, yeah. That would be amazing.
I mean, you could. You just take notes of your life for the year.
Yeah.
Actually, I just make the podcast, like AI, listen to a year of our podcast and be like, make an autobiography about this.
Right.
and then just name it something stupid, like,
oh my God, if I were ever a famous person, that would so be my gimmick, as I just keep putting out autobiographies.
I mean, you can do it right now. Maybe people won't buy it, but you could do it. Nothing's stopping you, Brian.
It's true.
Live your dreams.
You're right. What am I doing? Damn it. All right. So, anyway, we got way away from.
I don't even know what we're talking about before. Let's try to circle back. Let's go.
I mentioned Val Kilmer had passed away.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And, it's always like, when a person who's a pretty well-loved celebrity passes away, it's always kind of cool to see what their favorite role or whatever, and obviously the one that came up the most on Twitter that I saw was Doc Holliday, which is my favorite role of his.
Do you think St. Peter's like, next? He's like, I'm your Huckleberry.
Yeah. It's like, you're in.
Yeah.
Next. Because, I mean, he played so many great roles, over time and such. It was, sad that he got just ravaged by that. Was it throat cancer? I think it was.
Yeah, it's so sad because dude is a national treasure.
Oh, no, that's Nicolas Cage.
Oh, you're right.
No,
dude is a Batman Returns.
Right.
Wait, no, that wasn't him either. That was Michael Keaton. Dude is a Batman forever.
Right. But I it was interesting though too. I did appreciate whenever somebody brought up his character from Top Secret.
Oh hell, fuck yeah.
Because and obviously Real Genius and Saint. The Saint was a
Heat.
Was decent.
Motherfucking Heat. What?
Willow.
The Doors.
The Doors was great.
What?
Yeah, he was great. Yeah, like I said, Willow.
Yeah, you're right. Mad Mardigan, the best swordsman in the world.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I had a Mad Mardigan action figure.
Right.
I had a little plastic Val Kilmer.
Top Gun, obviously.
Well, of course, Top Gun.
Just tons of great
Toppist,
stuff. So.
Gunnist.
I mean, he's not my favorite Batman by any means, but he was Batman.
We'll give it to him.
We'll give it to him. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, X gonna give it to you, but
with no trivia.
Yeah. But yeah, I just and just so many other roles, that he was in. It was like, man, it's like I think it's one of those where it's been a while since he's really been in stuff because of the cancer. So you kind of maybe forget a little bit about it till you really stop and think and you go, holy shit, this dude was in a lot of big movies.
It'll forever be Tombstone for me.
Yeah. Same.
Honestly. Actually, you know what?
Dude, Doc Holliday is, he's the main reason I loved that movie so much. He's the best character in that whole movie. And it's loaded with great acting.
Oh, for sure. Obviously,
Kurt Russell's mustache, Sam Elliott's mustache were in that, so.
Yeah. Isn't it crazy that half the Earp brothers are dead?
Yeah.
Him and Bill Paxton? Oh, my God.
Yeah. I know. It's ridiculous.
What? God damn it, Brian. What was I saying earlier that I need to make in Monster Hunter? Shit.
El Tigre?
Yeah. No. Yeah. Okay. Because there's I could definitely make Doc Holliday too. So.
Oh yeah, nice.
So I'm just adding. I have a list of costumes I want to make because you could save so many builds. So. Yeah. Anywho,
my favorite. I think my favorite line from Tombstone, because I used to say this when I was drunk, which was, I got two guns, one for each of you. And there's just one guy there.
Hell yeah, I say that all the time too.
There's so many great lines of his in that movie. So yeah, I've seen a lot of people are like, oh man, I got to go back and watch, Tombstone or whatever. And I've heard the documentary that's out about him is really good too. I haven't watched that, but yeah, it was just really sad.
It is. It's dude, it's Val.
Yeah. Yep. But
one tier.
One tier for sure.
One tier.
For sure. Yep. And speaking of one tier, Did you? I'm sure you've seen some of the the stuff that came out of the Nintendo Direct, right? Like where they talked about the Switch 2 and all this kind of
the $80 digital game.
Yeah,
I saw that.
Boy, for digital games.
What are you doing, Nintendo? You know what?
No.
You know what they're doing is they're being velociraptors, Brian.
Yeah.
They're testing the fences.
They are. Well, they already did that. Remember that last Zelda game, or the one, not the last one, the one before was 70.
And Nintendo
all the other
games
games were 60.
Never go on sale.
Nope. And
not like RoboCop.
The last couple years, I've noticed there's a little bit like there's some of them that do, but certain ones like like probably like Zelda, the top Mario games, those ones tend to. But even if you're upgrading from like how the like PS5, how you could upgrade from the PS4 version to PS5.
Yeah.
Some of the games, like some of the Zelda games, if you upgrade from or get the upgrade, it is supposed to retail at like $80.
That's fucked.
It's like, dude, that's a port. What are you doing here?
Yeah,
like that's bullshit.
Yeah, no, it's.
If you want to charge me $10 for an upcharge to or whatever, or I like how a lot of the PS4 games were free to upgrade on.
There's free PS5 upgrade, yeah.
Right. Like I said, but even if you were like, hey, it's $10 more, because we did have to pay people to upgrade, blah, 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 fine.
I don't know. I mean, I love the Switch, but we don't play it that often.
Right. We talked about this last week a little bit. Like, I was like, it's easily my least used of my 3 game systems.
Like, I mean, it's, for instance, tonight when we're done here, if I go upstairs, Michelle's still playing a Monster Hunter. If I want to go to bed, instead of hopping on the couch and helping her, I'll just grab the Switch and chill in bed and play it. That's cool.
Yeah.
But I never like, if it's choice between PS5 or Switch when I'm gaming, it's PS5 every day.
Right.
And it's like, I don't have any urge to get a Switch 2 right now.
I'm that way too.
Yeah.
And I saw, part of the pricing from what I've, I watched a YouTube video where a guy said he talked with like insiders and basically said that part of the reason for the pricing is because of the tariffs. And that the $80 price point on the games helps them offset if they have to discount the system. Because they pointed to, what was it? The DS, I think it was. When it came out, it was, I think, $250. And people were like, nope. And then they dropped it to like $170. And then it started selling like crazy.
I'm confused, Brian. I thought the tariffs were supposed to make me rich. I don't understand.
Well, they will, but you just have to get through this point of hurting in the meantime.
You remember
deep hurting.
I got that somewhere.
I know.
You remember Terry Tate?
Yeah, office linebacker.
Office linebacker.
Deep hurting.
I wanted to fucking Terry Tate a guy today.
Yeah.
Because I was in Food Town getting my Fagos.
Right.
And I just heard of some guy just going, they're just kickstarting the economy, and if as long as you got a strong stomach and some money, it's gonna be fine eventually. And I wanted to like fling him through the glass window.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, just fucking beat the shit of him in the middle of the parking lot. Yeah, like I'm literally in the spice and coffee aisle going, fucking motherfucker, because I could hear. I was just so angry.
Yeah, I know. I do. I get it, man. It's like I've taken 2 years of economics, and I can understand how shitty these policies are.
Yeah.
And it's like, you can easily see how people don't understand how things work.
Like, as much as I really, 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 really want to retire tomorrow, I'm nowhere close to retirement.
Disagree. You could
Thank
retire
God.
tomorrow.
Well, I could. I could.
Things would be real rough.
Oh boy, would they? But thank God, because my fucking retirement fund has taken such a hit.
Oh, I'm sure.
And thank God I have 20 years or the rest of my life to make it better.
Right.
But fucking A, man.
Right. And it's like, well, so that's the thing.
Anywho, sorry.
Nintendo was going to start the pre-orders for the Switch 2, and they've now pushed them
they're like,
off indefinitely. But apparently they haven't pushed the release date. But they've pushed and it's like, well, it's supposed to release in June, so, I mean, it's April.
Yeah.
Like, are you just not going to have pre-orders? Because you kind of need to start them real soon. Otherwise,
well, 2 years ago, maybe it was a year. I don't know. No, it was 2 years.
I think it was like 17 years ago.
I got Logan a Kickstarter for a D&D book of like a YouTuber I watch. He watches them too.
Right.
And Logan's been waiting, and I've given him the PDF. Every time I get information, I give it to him, right?
Yeah.
I got the update today that, hey, the book is in print. Everything's final. I'm sorry, it's starting in print next month. But the tariffs may delay everything because it's like a small printer and it's out of country. And, you know.
I saw.
And it's like,
do you remember the comic Grendel?
Oh, yeah. I used to have a Grendel action figure. I probably still do.
So what's his name? Matt Wagner, I think, is the creator of the comic.
Yeah.
He posted a thing. There's supposed to be a whole new line of like indie comic book figures coming out, and he basically said because of this shit that like the line's been canceled.
Yeah, it's fucked up. Because
basically, I think they were already charging whatever, and like McFarlane's already announced a price increase on. You know, and I've read that a lot of toys could go up 50%. It's like, dude, action figures are already $30.
Yeah, it's
like they can't go higher.
we're all fucked.
Yeah.
Anywho, anyway, let's try to have a good let's have a good time.
Yeah. Back to the Switch things.
Yes.
But you know, the there's some cool stuff in it. Like, did you see they're going to actually have chat? Like a legit chat.
Well, it's about time, Nintendo. Yeah. Jesus.
Did you see like the Joy-Con can be turned on its side and it's like a mouse?
Oh, I didn't see that. That's cool.
Yeah, there's some. I mean, they got some cool features.
Honestly, I didn't even watch the trailer for it.
Yeah,
like
but it's also
that's how
like,
much I'm like about it. You know.
Like I'm kind of like, how often are you going to need a mouse for a
I mean, if you're playing a shooter.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
Okay. Yeah, maybe.
Maybe you can do some with one and mouse and shoot or something. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, and I saw for like the online thing, they're going to be bringing GameCube games to the online. You know, where you pay for the online.
Yeah.
Like whatever. So, and then they're having like a GameCube controller again. So it's like that's cool. I appreciate the innovation stuff or the cool stuff Nintendo likes to do, but like. In the new Mario Kart game, there's going to be like a free roam mode in it, which I'm very curious.
Wait,
what
free
you can
roam? So like open world Mario Kart?
Yeah. Like
all right, I'm in.
Around.
Where's the pre-order?
I know, right? Well, that's my thing is I'm like, this is actually kind of intriguing. Like, what do you collect things? How do you drive? Or like, are there just random races you can join or something? Like, dude, I'm very curious.
If they took Mario Kart and mixed it with Midnight Club Racing, where you could flash your cart's lights and start racing,
that would be
sick.
I mean, I think it would be kind of fun if you could just like drive around and you're like, oh, there's a race going on here, and just join. Not in the middle of it, obviously, but hey, there's going to be a race here and jump in. I think that could be kind of cool, actually, for Mario Kart. But like I said, I'm very curious to hear more about that.
But do you imagine how annoying it's going to be when Luigi calls your Mario phone? He's like, brother, let's go play darts. You're like, God damn it, Luigi. I'm in the middle of something.
Not taking you to the titty bar again,
yeah.
Luigi.
Hey, let's go see those toad schools and bump the bunkers,
Yep.
God damn it, Ouija.
Yeah. You get in there, it's like, Bowser's daughter's in there.
Oh, hell yeah. Princess Peach. I was like, what the fuck?
Wow, she fell on hard times, man.
Nah, she just likes to freak out sometimes.
Oh, okay, that's fair.
You know?
Oh, yeah, I get it. Like how the former Queen of England used to like wear a disguise so she could go to McDonald's.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
same thing, but a strip bar.
Yeah, right. I mean, it's the same idea.
Yeah, same thing, but
very, very similar.
Thongs and titties.
Yeah. Let me see that thong.
It's weird. I mean, I was really shocked when I saw Switch 2, Mario Galaxy, thongs and titties. I was like, what? What is this?
Yeah. I'm
intrigued.
I need them to make drunken Mario Kart is what I need.
Bro, if you have a Rockin' Ryan ride, you can do that yourself.
Picture driving in GTA when you're drunk.
Yes.
But you can't shake it for the whole race.
Honestly, it would be really funny if there was some sort of racing game along the lines of Mario Kart that was more adult oriented. You could like zing a beer can at somebody and they get drunk.
Right. Yeah, exactly. That's kind of what I mean, I just think the whole concept would be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
You know, although in fairness, I'm sure there's probably plenty of people who've sat and gotten lit and just played Mario Kart when they're hammered.
I mean,
You know,
honestly,
I have.
it's something I'm surprised I never did in my formative years of drinking and gaming.
I was going to say, I'm actually surprised you and I never did.
Yeah, to do like battle mode and be like, well, you lost, drink. Next race.
I was just meaning we get drunk and then play Mario Kart.
Oh, well, I was like, picture you got a house full of people. You're playing Mario Kart, and like 1, 2, and 3 are safe. Everyone else drinks.
Oh man, I like it.
Right?
That's a good plan. Actually,
yeah.
We need to open up a gaming /bar.
Yes.
Yeah.
/methadone clinic.
Obviously.
Duh, of course.
Right.
Naturally.
And /Buttery pants outlet.
Yeah, of course.
Obviously. Yeah. I mean, we'll be wearing them, of course.
Of course we will. It's part of uniform.
Damn it. Why do we have to have a whole Buttery brand now?
Because it's amazing.
It is. It actually is. Yeah.
Oh, salted butter, obviously.
Salted butter. Yeah. Oh, yeah. We ain't having no unsalted.
No, what are we, savages? Fuck your heart.
Bakers. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I'm like you. I saw a poll that was like, you know, asking people like, is the Switch too much and blah blah blah, and you know, a lot of people were basically like me, to where it's like maybe eventually I'll get one kind of a thing, you know, and it's
definitely low priority for me.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, that's the other thing too, right? Is like, I think Xbox has already said that like their next system is going to be like a few years from now. So it's like they're already potentially looking at like the next thing. I don't know about Sony, but you know what I mean? So it's like, if I'm going to somewhere down the line have to budget $500 or so for a system, basically,
or thousands,
right? It's like, it's probably not going to be the Switch for me.
Oh, for sure.
You know?
Yeah, it's how I feel about it. Like I
like,
love Nintendo consoles and Nintendo and all that, but this is like this feels like the Wii U to me, where I'm just like, yeah, I'm good.
That I saw a lot of people actually kind of pushing that, because there's a lot of people I think that really and truly don't feel like Nintendo needs, you know, it's like there's things that they wish the Switch had, but it's not so much that you're like, we need a whole new thing, you know, type of a deal. You know, it would be cooler to have one with more internal memory. It would be cool to have one that's like the new one's supposed to be like a bigger screen, but weigh the same, which is cool, you know, that it's not heavier. But also, I you know, like for me, the other thing I have is like, I don't like playing it when it's like the Joy-Cons are on the system. I prefer to play it on my TV.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a lot to hang, you know, it's like,
dude,
it's heavy.
You know what I've done before is I've taken either Joy-Cons off, or I've just used my nice controller that I eventually bought, and I just put up the kickstand.
Oh, I didn't even think about doing that. Yeah, I could do that. Yeah, that's actually probably a decent move too, when you want to play it as like, you know, mobile, basically.
Yeah, because I'm with you. I'm like, I don't want to. It feels weird to hold it. I need a controller, because that's the way I am now.
I used to play games on my iPad, and my iPad's, I think, a 10-inch iPad, and after a while, you're like, this thing's heavy. Like it's a lot to hang on to for a long time.
Yeah.
You know, so, you know, but I don't know, you know, whatever. So whatever, Trevor.
This is my United States of whatever.
It must really suck for Nintendo though, in a way, because now the other thing I wonder is, if the tariffs weren't in place, what kind of prices would they be talking? Because I read that in other countries aside from Japan, that they also have to elevate the price, because if they don't, basically Americans will just import it from other countries.
Well, yeah, of course we will.
So, you know, so it's cheaper. So I'm very curious how, you know, what the pricing was supposed to be, or if the tariffs are just a convenient excuse for them upping the price significantly, because the current Switch was what, $300 new, right?
Yeah.
You know, and this one is $450.
I was thinking it was going to be I thought 400 was. Yeah,
me too. And I was like, you know, 4 is reasonable, because that's still cheaper than Xbox and PS5.
Right.
You know, brand new. Not the current rates, but when they were, you know, new to market. But it's still a lot of money, but it's, you know, but when they said 450, and I was like, ooh, boy,
yeah,
you know,
right.
I was like,
It's a spicy meatball.
Right. So I wonder if maybe it was going to be 4, and it became, or 4, 375, somewhere in that range, and then tariffs, because
Why not?
electronics are all going to have a big chunk put
Yeah,
on top
no,
of
it's
them.
fine. We're just gonna
Yeah.
become farmers.
It's fair.
Dude,
Farmers only?
you ever chisel a arrowhead out of a piece of stone?
Yeah, who hasn't?
It's like, if not, you better learn.
Yeah, I've been doing it for years.
For
Just for
years. For years.
So, have you watched the trailer for The Naked Gun?
Yes, I did.
What'd you think of it?
I don't know what to make of it, because, like, I am so a Naked Gun fan.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm pulling up the trailer. I am such a fan of those movies, and that he's supposed to be Frank Drebin's son, right?
Yes.
Like Frank Drebin Jr. or some shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because they actually have a bit in the trailer about it.
But I don't know what to make of it, Brian. I really don't.
I keep seeing people
think
bitching about Liam Neeson, and I'm like, you got to understand, like, I think most people were introduced to Leslie Nielsen through Airplane and Naked Gun, right? If you look, Leslie Nielsen had a whole career of being a dramatic actor before those movies. And what happened was he did one of those movies, and like he did Airplane, and they were like, holy shit, you have amazing comedic timing.
Well, and Frank Drebin was always, despite the fact nonsense happened to him, he's always a straight man at the same time.
He's a straight man, and that's what Liam Neeson's going to be too.
And and I feel like that he can pull it off, but it's just, I love the original movie so much that I'm hard pressed about this.
Yeah, right.
Although I do love the part in the trailer. It just came up in our YouTube video I'm showing, where they show OJ, and it's OJ's son. He's like,
nope.
Yeah. Which, that was hilarious.
That was funny. Yeah. And that's the thing is like, there's moments in the trailer that I laughed out loud. Like I was like, God, this very much feels like Naked Gun.
I mean, I'll definitely watch it, but I don't know how I feel about it still.
Right. Like I was like, okay, here's the trailer. Let's go in and see, and it's like I said, it's like, I think it looks funny. It hit notes that very much feel true to it without trying to be ham-fisted about it, at least in the trailer. Let's see in the movie, but and that's why I said, I think a lot of people are, it's similar to, like, when you see my mom's had TV on a few times, and they'll show some like older sitcoms or whatever, and like, I forgot what one it was. Oh, Maude, that's the name of it. It had B. Arthur in it. Right?
Oh, yeah.
And she's kind of much like when she's on Golden Girls, she's kind of still the straight person on the show. But Rue McClanahan, Blanche, for those who don't know, from the Golden Girls, she was on it. And to hear her without that accent, and she's playing a much different character, and it was just like, oh wow, or I see Betty White.
System shock. I don't like it.
Yeah, or I see Betty White in something before Golden Girls or whatever, and you're just like, oh wow, they weren't always that person, or that actor, And like I said,
young
Leslie
Betty White.
Nielsen,
you're
right. It's like most people, when you're talking about Leslie Nielsen, they're remembering Naked Gun or Airplane.
Yes,
and obviously he did. What was it? Dracula Dead and Loving.
He did all kinds of weird shit after that. Yeah.
He was also on Golden Girls, because he's a guy that I believe he's the guy who ends up taking B. Arthur away from the girls at the end of the series. Spoiler alert!
Oh my God!
Yeah, and he's a little silly, but not
It does make me want to rewatch the Naked Gun trilogy.
Something I've never been able to do is sit down and watch Police Squad. The show.
Oh my God, Police Squad was amazing.
I've seen episodes, but I'd love to sit and watch the run.
Yeah, so good.
But and obviously I love the Naked Gun movies too. But that's why I said I think it's really interesting, and I think people got to get past that part of it. Like I said with Leslie Nielsen, because I've seen people. I saw one earlier today. Was like, Liam Neeson's not a comedic actor, and I'm like, I've seen him in a few things where he plays the straight man but he's hilarious.
Yeah, no, I think Liam Neeson will be good because obviously he's a hell of an actor.
Yeah,
and he can fit the mold well. It's just
because there was some show I can't remember
it's like
what it is.
they're
There's
touching my baby, Brian.
Right. Oh, I understand. On the upside, I like that they're not remaking it.
Yeah, I do like the fact that it's an extension.
It's its own thing. Yeah. So I like that they're not trying to just remake the old ones.
When I first saw the trailer and he was introduced as Frank Drebin or Lieutenant Drebin, I was like, motherfucker. And then they showed them. I'm like, all right, well, at least there's that.
Okay.
Because I thought at first it was a remake. And I'm like, these dirty bastards.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was with you on that because I was like, oh, I don't like that. Because, we've talked about that in other movies or something, or, where they'll do a remake. And it's like the only thing that has the same nest to it is that name.
Yes.
And it's like, I get it. That's the bridge. But it's like, but when he said Junior on the one, I was like, okay, all right, I can. I'm not going to lie. I laughed really hard in the very first thing in the trailer, like when the little girl goes in and he peels up. Because as soon as he reached for his neck, I'm like, oh, God, it's going to be him. But then the fact that it shows him all grown up all of a sudden.
Yeah, that was funny.
But he's in the Girl Scout costume. I was like, okay, this is, There was some show I watched where somebody kept making comments about Liam Neeson, like that they could kick his ass or something like that, and then they finally meet him, and Liam Neeson just beats the shit out of him.
Oh, I was like, Liam Neeson's a big dude.
Yeah, and he's
I think he's like 6'4" or some shit.
Yeah, I can't remember what show it was, but it's obviously he's playing, kind of like a you called this on yourself and just keeps hitting him kind of a thing, and it's just basically that he's playing, and it's hilarious just the way he's. Like, kind of like I don't want to do this, but you forced my hand type of situation. And, but that's why I said, and I've seen him on a couple other random shows where he's basically playing himself, but, a cartoon,
exaggerated version.
Exaggeration. Yeah.
He's a caricature of himself.
And he's very funny, like I said, and it's like, I think
he's going to be fine.
Yeah, I think he's going to be decent in the role. The question will be how's the writing and the jokes.
Yeah.
But it's like, have you ever watched, oh shit, I can't think of the name of the show. It's got Rashida Jones in it. Oh, Steve Carell and his wife produced it. God, I can't think of the dang name of the show now. Angie Tribeca.
Oh, yeah. I've seen that.
Dude, that show is great.
Yeah, that show is fun.
100% feels like a Naked Gun.
Yes, it does.
It's that type of humor. It's very, corny, and the jokes are,
it's just silly the whole time through.
You have to watch the background because there's always
weird shit happening. Yeah.
Yep. And it's like I love that, and that's why when that show came out, I was like, oh, this show is such a love letter to Naked Gun.
Looks like I picked the wrong day to stop sniffing glue. Lloyd Bridges.
Airplane. Yeah.
Well, Brian.
Well, that was the other thing too. I think wasn't Leslie Nielsen in the original Airplane movie? Not, and I don't mean the comedy or whatever it was called, the one where people get sick on the plane.
That I don't know.
Because I feel like he was, but anyway. Yeah.
Well, Brian, we should probably get to our QoftheW for two reasons. One, we're at an hour and a half already ish.
Oh my God. What?
Two, I have to piss so hard, but we're so deep in the game. I don't feel like breaking now is insane.
Oh my God. But I have one amazing thing I have to bring to you. So why don't we do a break?
Oh no. But Brian.
Because I want this on the show.
Let's go. Send it. Let's go.
All right. Okay. So are you sure? Last chance.
Let's go.
All right. Well, I got to send you a link here.
All right.
So, and you have to listen to a little. You don't have to listen to the whole thing. It's a song. You don't have to listen to all of it, but I just want you to listen to a little bit of it.
Okay.
And then I'm going to tell you a story afterwards.
Oh, wait, we're going to go on. I was like, I could just play this, but we're going to be on YouTube.
Yeah, you can't.
Yeah. I can't switch it over for everybody. Sorry. It's for me, guys.
Right. Sorry. I'll have the link in the show notes. It's by a band called Empty Orchestra. And the song is Always Already.
All right, what am I listening for? What's going on here?
Okay, so you've listened to the song, right?
I've listened to a chunk of it.
Okay, good enough. That's all you need.
All right, I'll mute it and then open up the browser so people can see it at least.
So.
Oh, never mind. It's in the wrong browser window. You can't see shit, people. Fuck you.
So I found out. I found out last night that the singer of that band.
Yeah.
Is the singer from Braidedveins.
Oh, all right.
And it kind of blew my mind because he sounds nothing like he did with Braidedveins.
Yeah, right.
But what he did, apparently, from this interview I read, because I was looking to see if he's been like part of a new band since Braidedveins kind of doesn't really exist anymore.
Right. Thank God I got their vinyl.
I know, right?
Hey-yo.
So he, what it was he was working on his PhD apparently at the time, and he had just written a bunch of like kind of politically driven.
Is he Dr. Roxo?
He is.
Huh.
But he was.
Now that I'm looking at him, yes, that's the guy.
Right. So he had written a bunch of like politically driven stuff, and he's like, I just wanted to yell because I've never really done that with a band before. So that's where he came up with like the voice he uses with Braidedveins.
Did I ever tell you my Braidedveins story?
I don't know.
You and I went, obviously.
I mean, we've seen them 3 times. They were great.
There was a time. This is before Michelle and I were like a thing. We were like buddies.
Okay.
And we went and saw the Braidedveins in Detroit.
Yeah.
Right. And I picked her up and I was like, hey, do you have any like garbage bags or anything? She's like, okay. And she got a garbage bag because as I was on my way to pick her up to go to this concert, my mom gets a hold of me. My mom's like, hey, can you please go get the mail? We're, because they were in Florida or some bullshit.
Yeah, right.
And I'm like, and I was in, mom's like, just like put it in a bag and then put it in this cooler. I'm like, okay, but I didn't have a bag because I was in the car.
Right.
So you know how my mom's house is. You drive into the woods to get there. And I'm like, hey, bring some bags. I'm going to drive you into the woods. Yeah, she was like, after, like, she told me this, once her and I became a thing, that she was like, yeah, I didn't really know what was going on that day. I was a little scared.
I mean, understandably so, yeah.
So it was like one of the first times we hung out outside of work.
Right. That's funny.
Yeah. Anywho, I went and saw Braidedveins. So it was a good time.
Yeah. But
no murder. No murder.
Yeah. Allegedly. Yeah. But it was, that kind of blew my mind last night listening to this. And then he's got another project that's more current called Unison, I think it is. And I'll have links in the show notes for anybody who wants to check them out.
Nice.
All 3 bands, actually. Because if you haven't heard Braidedveins, especially if you're into kind of, hardcore stuff,
it's a good listen. It's a good listen.
Yeah.
I might pop that vinyl in tomorrow when we're doing some house cleaning.
That's actually what I was like last night. I was kind of jumping around through some various musics because I've been doing that recently. And, I put on like one of the daily mix things from Spotify had Braidedveins at the top. And I was like, oh, I haven't listened to them in a while. So I clicked on that. And,
nice.
Because I was talking with somebody online the other day and we were talking about various like the bands of like the 90s that were kind of the some of the emo kind of bands and whatever, or not just emo but whatever, but like Jimmy World and stuff. And
so I went back and shit like that.
I went back and listened to Bleed American and I was like, God, I forgot I love like almost every song on that album.
I'll just go back, man, listen to it again, man.
That's what I've been doing, is that. And then I Braidedveins, I was like, oh, I gotta go listen to that. So I was listening to a bunch of that last night, and
nice.
It's just nice little trip.
Nice little trip down memory lane.
Yeah. All right. So that was my other thing.
Beautiful. So, last week for the QoftheW, we asked everybody, if video games cause violence based on the last game you played, what would you be arrested for? Oh. So, Mike Follick on Instagram says, emulsifying wildlife. What game was he playing?
Oh my God, yeah.
Which
emulsifying?
I'm asking him.
Jesus.
Yes.
Yeah, please. Yeah.
Why? Okay, there it is. Yeah, I don't even know what game that could be.
Yeah, right?
What game were you playing?
Yeah, right. Like, I don't think I've ever emulsified an animal in a game that I'm aware of.
I mean, our friend Garrett knows all about that.
Oh God, liquid animal for sure.
Liquid
he does.
animal.
Ugh.
Emulsified animal's a little harder. You need a little fat in there.
Right. Naturally, yeah. You gotta put a little xanthan gum in there or something.
Oh, nice. And then from across the pond, our buddy Short Sigh, love them, love him and his wife. Says smacking a German in the head of a shovel. God bless hell let loose. Amen.
Wow.
That game rules.
Yeah. All right.
You want some PTSD? Play that game.
Yeah.
I'm gonna flip it, Brian. I'm fucking whipping it.
Okay.
Over here on the Facebooks. Veronica, she says, trying to raid Dragon Soul with my band of 25 guildies in a World of Warcraft Cataclysm Classic.
I don't know what any of that stuff means.
I don't know what it means either, and I'm not sure what crime you're committing, but all right.
Right.
Lady Cheeto says, does Words of Friends count as a video game? I'll say yes, but is it a crime? I'll say no.
I feel like there's probably people who've wanted to commit crime while playing because someone takes forever, or they're just, they come up with some word that you're just like about, like just stomping your ass.
Like really? TOO?
Yeah.
Diamond, top fan, Big Dev. We haven't talked in a while. I should reach out to him.
I actually was messaging with him earlier. We were talking about a silly podcast idea.
Nice. Good, because I missed that man. He's my, he's my lover. I'll admit it now.
It's true. Yeah, he is your backdoor lover.
Exactly. Defying the Empire and fighting for the rebel scum. Star Wars: The Force Unleashed 2. Great game. I like that he's playing a classic. That's awesome.
Yep.
And then Diamond Top fan Kiki, she says, building houses and letting people move in rent-free. Playing God, forcing people to learn skills that will make their lives better. Sims 4.
Yeah, I was going to say, it must be The Sims. Yep.
Beautiful.
I like it.
That's what I got there, Brian.
All right. Well, I got one on Instagram from, what's their username is CSR_1194.
Oh, that guy.
And
I know that guy.
He says playing baseball, which I can't imagine you get arrested.
Why would you get arrested for that? Are you on private property? Yes, sir.
I mean, yeah. I guess it depends on where you're playing baseball or what you define as playing baseball.
That's true.
Because if you're just walking around hitting people in the head and saying playing baseball, I don't think it quite counts.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it counts for our question, but I don't think the police are going to be like, he's just playing ball,
Depends on the cop.
It's true.
The cop might be like, let me help you.
Yeah, that's also fair.
Yeah.
It could be.
I brought my own bat.
That's also fair. All right. So where is it? I know I got an answer from Cheeto here. All right. There we go. He says spreading the seed of democracy.
Oh, yeah.
Everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
He says salty selections do not apply to this question. That's because he doesn't play anything but Helldivers. So
it might be accurate.
Yeah. Like, if you asked this question tonight, the last thing I played would have been that I was killing cultists, because that's or demons. I'm sorry, because that was the last thing I did in Diablo.
I was still poaching animals myself.
Yeah, not emulsifying though.
No, although I did do a little democracy spreading on Friday. Nothing but level 10 super hell dives. It was insane, and it was a great time.
That sounds crazy.
It was so much fun.
Fair enough.
Yes. So what do you got for me, Brian?
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, we got to go back to the list of questions here. All right, 1 through 7.
My heart says 7.
Does it though?
It does actually.
Does your heart still go on though?
Not anymore. No.
My mom had Titanic on the other day, and I for sure got to see the part where the guy spangs off the the steam pipe or whatever.
Best part ever. Only after titties, I guess.
Right. Yeah. Unfortunately, it was on like a network thing, so no titties.
Oh, just steamed up windows in a hand.
Yeah. Not quite as good. Yeah.
Not quite as good.
All right, so here's one for you. What punishment is actually a gift to you?
Oh, well, I mean, I'm at the point in my life that I really don't get punished anymore. Right. But
well, you do, but that's in a dungeon and everything's consensual.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
When I was a kid, when I was just like, go to your room, it was like, cool.
Yeah,
this is where I want to be anyway with all my stuff.
Right. Yeah, the worst was like I remember like my mom used to send me to her room.
That's a punishment. That's a punishment.
there's no TV, there's no game systems, there was no toys. I was like, oh man, there's nothing in here.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, dude. When it's like go to your room, it's like okay, so I can play with my GI Joes. I can look out the window. I can, you know, I can crank one. I can crank one off.
Sure, while looking out
the window.
Right.
Whatever. This is amazing. Thanks for this punishment.
Yeah. Yeah, I that was one that reminds you of like when they used to suspend kids for skipping school. It feels very in that same vein.
Well, you didn't come to school? Well, don't come to school for 3 days. So, oh, God, my heart.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, yeah, cool. I can watch the Hutchinsons hopefully continue their feud wins.
Yeah, that's right.
Sick.
When we were kids, I'd completely agree with you. Like that was one door. It was like, okay, like I'm not getting yelled at because I'm being sent to my room. So it's like, okay, I'd rather just go sit in my room. That's fine.
Honestly, as an adult, I can't think of the last time I was punished per se.
Yeah. Well, here's one I can give you as an adult.
Okay.
Is when someone tries to punish you with the silent treatment.
Oh yeah. I mean, I've definitely been there before. Thank God that doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, I very much am not one that usually I just go about my life.
Yeah.
Like eventually, because to me, it's the adult equivalent of throwing a tantrum.
Oh, yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. There's times where it's better to be quiet than to say what's on your mind because, you know, you might say, you know, things you cannot take back type situation.
For sure.
But across the board, I'm just like, look, you know, it's like use your words like an adult. Like silent treatment doesn't work on me because honestly, I've functioned fine with isolation. So,
I mean, that was one of my favorite things ever. Why are you angry? If you don't know, I'm not telling you.
Yeah. Cool. This is great communication.
All right. Well, I guess I'm going to get back to just doing all my cool stuff that I normally do and watching you get even angrier.
Right. And that's actually kind of my thing is that's what I do is I just go about, and it's like eventually you'll talk to me because if you don't, whatever. I honestly don't, you know, and it's not about me being a dick or being whatever. It's like, I want to communicate, but if you're not willing to, then I'm not chasing you. You know, like you're an adult, use your words, like kind of a thing. You know, it bothers me. It's like that is horrible communication because you've completely shut down the line of communication. So it's like, I'll be here. If you want to communicate, we can, I don't even care if it's yelling.
Yes.
Like we can communicate, you know, but silent treatment. Yeah. You ain't punishing me. I don't care.
Yeah. Right.
Like you're punishing yourself because you're going to go sit somewhere and stew over it. I'm going to go play Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to do some sick ass flips in this game I'm playing.
Right. I'm going to go emulsify some animals.
Yeah, exactly.
In a video game.
Of course. I'm going to go defeat Mitsusune and try to get the greatsword.
Yes, obviously.
Obviously. I just need 2 more beaks.
Yeah. 2 more beaks. So yeah, that's the best one I can think of as like an adult goes is that, you know, I mean, it's not really a gift, I guess, per se, but, you know.
I know what you're saying.
You know, yeah. I would imagine a lot of adults could say spanking here, though, too.
Yeah, that's fair.
You know, oh, no, please do not spank me. Please do not spank me again.
Yeah, oh, shucks.
Yeah.
My ass.
Yep. It's like, oh, no, I'm stuck in the washer. Please don't punish me.
I know, right?
Kind of situation, so, yeah. All right, there you go. What punishment is actually a gift to you?
Yeah.
Show me what you got.
Nice.
All right, well, head over to saltylanguage.com, click the links, check out tangentboundnetwork.com and check out the other shows there, or if you need a place for your podcast, talk to them. What do you got for Mark this week?
Oh, man, a bladder full of urine, hot and ready.
Oh, man. I'm sure he'd love that.
I know. He better go lay down on his plastic sheets because here it comes.
Oh, my. Everyone thinks he has a Dexter room.
Yeah,
Wrong.
Wrong. Yep. Hey, I'm just as German as the next guy, so let's go.
Oh, my. Oh, my. Who knew we were going to have water sports?
Yeah, whatever.
Wow. All right. Yeah, if you want to reach out to us on the socials, you can find us on Twitter at salty_language. You can find me on wherever I am at Stunami.
You can find me on the Instas still at The Monotony. God, really Gotta update this fucking plug sheet I got in front of me, Brian. Patreon.com/saltylanguage for all your extracurricular Salty Language needs. And I really do want to, my motor car, the Quantum Cast. I can't remember what we called that. Let's go.
Yeah. All right.
But Brian, you got a separate situation. What else you got going on?
I have another podcast called The Crazy Life, where it's me and our pal Heno talking about things in our life and just trying to navigate towards being more content with life and that kind of thing. We don't like to chase happiness because that's like chasing perfection,
So it's like chasing your first high, bro.
That's right, man.
Exactly.
Man.
Chasing the dragon of happiness.
But we also talk about mental health stuff and recovery and different stuff. So if you're interested in that, please give us a listen.
Beauty.
Actually, I think we're recording tomorrow.
Oh, on the Lord's Day?
Yep.
Oh my God, you better say a prayer.
Oh, we will.
Okay, good.
Or something.
So,
yep. All right. Well, with that, I guess have a rock and rye and whiskey. You'll be fine.
Fuck yeah, you'll be fine. It's delicious, except for this overwhelming amount of piss. That's not a good time.
Right.
But yeah, stay salty, everybody.
Stay buttery.
Oh yeah, you know what? Stay buttery. You're right.
I mean, we gotta start pushing the brand.
You gotta start pushing the brand. You're right. Stay buttery.